Hey, it's Alex. Have you ever heard someone talk about sales and they say, well, we need to frame control the person into buying and we need to make sure that the person is following our commands and then push him to the buying button and then get him to pay. Have you ever heard anyone say something like that about sales calls? Well, I disagree with this completely. So when beginners learn sales, they learn it in the car salesman method. And that may work if you're a car salesman or you're in a certain markets in the world where that kind of sales works, like mainstream sales, sales in shops and stuff like that. But if you want to learn high ticket sales, if you want to learn how to sell on the phone and sell to smart people who want to get real results and want to pay up to $15,000 or sometimes even more for a service that is fully delivered online, then you need to use a different sales process. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to behave on sales calls where you're selling something very expensive to someone very smart who wants to work with you for an extended period of time. So before I shared with you the first mistake that beginners make. So the second mistake is beginners start talking about all the technical aspects of what they're selling and they're trying to analyze if the person they're talking to should be interested or should buy this technical stuff from them, right? So when you're selling things like services, online marketing services and so on, or tech services or creative or whatever, there's going to be technical aspects to delivery. And people who buy such services generally are not technical. They don't give a fuck about any of the processes that you're using that are super detailed and confusing to them. They just want to have a result. And the result is usually not, I want to buy Facebook ads. The result is usually, I want to make sure that when people leave my cart, that, we get more sales and that we get more sales in general and that we get more sales in general and my business grows so I can spend more time with my family and so on and so forth. Those are the reasons people actually buy. And the technical stuff is not really suitable to sell to those people at all. It is suitable if you're a freelancer and you want to sell yourself to get a job or a gig. So the way I like to approach sales now is I like to approach sales as a trusted consultant. It's somewhere between a doctor and your mother pretty much. So in a sense, a doctor is someone who you have to trust. If you have some serious disease and he says you need to get this treatment, you better agree or at the very least get a second opinion, and a second doctor is likely to say the same thing as well, right? So when you tell a doctor, I don't want this treatment, they're gonna say, no, sit down, you really need this treatment. They know. And that's the kind of certainty you need on sales calls. Furthermore, the doctor will not generally advise you, a good doctor will not generally advise you to go get a treatment that you absolutely don't need, unless they're incompetent, which is a different issue altogether. So a doctor will be a trusted advisor. They won't try to get you killed because, that's the opposite of what they're trying to do. And that's the oath they took and that's the training they got, and everything says you need to be a trusted advisor. In the same way, when you're selling services on the internet, you need to be a trusted advisor. It's the same type of frame. And the reason I said you need to be a little bit like someone's mother is, well, I guess you could say a psychologist as well, because you're actually teaching people how to make decisions. Lots of people don't know how to make decisions when buying, and you need to guide them through the process. So if someone says, well, yeah, so I need to compare it to other offers and so on and so forth, do they really know what they're comparing? Do they know what's important? Do they know how deep they need to go into comparison, how much proof they need, and so on? Well, usually the answer is no. Usually when someone's buying a service, they're comparing completely irrelevant things. They're comparing some kind of how many clients have you had that are of this specific type without even knowing if this type versus a different type makes any difference in the service delivery. People don't know how to buy. People don't know how to make decisions with high-end services. So you need to basically make sure that you're that trusted advisor and that you can help them in their best interest to make the decision as fast as possible once you've decided that they can benefit from the service. And once they have decided that, it is your absolute duty to do whatever it takes to get them to buy from you, because you know that they'll get results from it. And by everything, I don't mean lie to them. By everything, I mean do ethical sales, like consult them ethically and handle their objections. And most people simply don't know how to do it. And if they do, they pussy out, or they just don't do it for some other reason. I don't really understand sometimes why people don't follow the sales process. So that's pretty much it. If you use the tips in this video, you'll get a lot more sales. If you don't, well, yeah, that's gonna be tough to build a business like that. So if you have any questions, do comment below. And if you'd like more free videos, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.